بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. The topic at hand is reclaiming, cleansing, fixing the heart. The heart is the most important organ in a man's body. Allah Azza wa Jal does not look at your bodies, does not look at your bank accounts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at your hearts and your deeds, as the Prophet had said alayhi salatu wassalam. And he also told us that in the body there is a piece of flesh. If it is sound, the whole body will be sound. And if it is corrupt, then the whole body will be corrupt. And if you ask any Muslim, what was the majority of the dua of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and they will say, what? What is the dua that the Prophet alayhi salam used to say the most? Allah ighfirli, Urhamni, Urzuqni. No, none of that. Ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. He used to say, O turner of hearts, make my heart steadfast. And why is that? Well, because the Prophet told us alayhi salatu wasalam that the hearts are between two fingers of Allah's fingers. He flips them as He wishes. So the issue of hearts is a very important issue. On the Day of Judgment, you will not have any VIP to help you out. Your bank account will not help if you have a bank account. Your friends, your strength, your lineage, all of this would not help you on the Day of Judgment. The only thing that would help you with the grace of Allah is having a pure and clean heart. Allah says in the Quran, the day whereon neither wealth nor sons will avail except him who brings to Allah a clean heart. The $1 million question: who among us has a clean heart? If you ask, everybody would raise his hands. Who has a clean heart? Raise your hands. See, mashallah. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Then this is a good sign. When you acknowledge that you do not have a clean heart, this is half of the treatment. Someone with an illness goes to the doctor, and the doctor tells him you have this and this and this. He said, no, you're lying. He will never be cured. But when he admits, yes, I have these illnesses, then curing it is half of the way. Is no problem with that, inshaAllah. Our souls are vulnerable. We are weak. Because outside we look strong, we look fit. But inside, this heart can be manipulated easily. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ said that these hearts are more trembling than a pot on a stove boiling. You know when you have a pot and it's on fire and it's boiling and the cover, the top of the pot is trembling? The Prophet says our heart tremble more than this. And this is why he used to always say to his companions, seek refuge in Allah from fitan, tribulations, calamities. turmoil, seek refuge in Allah from them, because when they come, they take everyone and sweep everyone out. Now, we want to purify our hearts. How to do that? Well, purification of the heart can only come from Allah Azza wa Jal. No one can purify your heart except Him. And this is why you find people who are righteous and you find people who are evil. And when I say evil, the sisters look at me and say, why do you point at us? You find people who are righteous and you find people who are evil. And the sisters say, okay, we're not righteous. La ilaha illallah. Well, you get my point. So purification of the heart comes only from Allah Azza wa Jal. And purification of the heart is the message of all messengers of Allah Azza wa Jal. From Adam till Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allah Azza wa Jal says to Musa, and say to Pharaoh, would you purify yourself from the sins of disbelief by becoming a believer? So even Musa goes to Pharaoh and invites him for purification of the heart. If you purify your heart, you will go to Jannah. May Allah make me and you among those who go to Jannah. Allah says, Jannatu Adnin, under which rivers flow, wherein they will abide for eternity, forever. Such is the reward for those who purify themselves, purify their souls. And purify it of what? Purify it of everything that corrupts it. And on top of the list, purifying it from shirk. Purifying it from sins, because sins block your hearts, tarnishes it and fills it with evil. Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran, no, rather the stain has covered their hearts of that which they were earning, meaning the earning of sins. It covers the hearts with stain. And every one of us is excellent in discovering the shortcomings and the faults of others. But it is the most difficult job to discover our own shortcomings and faults. So I can tell you, Nasib has this and that in him. But I fail in finding my own weak spots. And why is that? Because Muslims, and especially the youth, are indulged in this world to the rim. They are indulged in this world, and this is not a bad thing. No one told you to go to the masjid, stay there 24 hours, 7 days a week, doing nothing. This is not Islam. But at the same time, the Muslims lack having long-term objectives. All of us have short-term objectives. All what we care about is things that would make us rich. All what we care about is watching the latest blockbuster movies. We like to listen to music. A lot of the youth are involved in watching pornography. A lot of the Muslims cheat. They consume bribery and they give it. A lot of the Muslims don't have the moral compass to tell them what's right and what's wrong. And this is why they are far, far away from Allah Azza wa Jal. Most of the Muslims do not have half an hour a day. Sheikh, we have 24 hours a day. No, I mean you don't have half an hour a day to just sit and reflect on your life. What are you doing in your life? Are you getting closer to Allah Azza wa Jal or further away from Him? You wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is what? Phone. The first thing you hold is your phone. Check Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You spend an hour and a half saying Adhkar al-Sabah. Allahumma bika asbahna wa bika. No, Sheikh. I have to look and watch. And then with closed eyes you go and maybe if you're a clean, hygienic person, you brush your teeth. Then you listen, you put the headsets and listen to music. You go to university, you're engaged in your classes, you listen to music. You go to your friends, you watch movies, you listen to music. You never sit to contemplate and say, رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي خَطِيئَتِي يَوْمَ الدِّينِ. Oh Allah, forgive me my sin on the day of judgment. Nothing like that. What about the adhkar of the morning? The adhkar of the evening? And it's a whole list of them. What about the adhkar after the fard prayer? The adhkar before you go to bed? The adhkar you say before you leave to your home, to anywhere out of your home? Nothing. Why? Because we have short-term objectives. I want to graduate. I want to have a good job. I want my job to be paying well. I want to have a car. I want to have a house. I want to get married. I want to have a lot of money. I want to have the new iPhone or the new Samsung. There are so many things you want, but there are short-term objectives. But what about your heart? Your heart is totally tarnished with stains. Each sin you do, the Prophet tells us, there is a dot in your heart until the sins overwhelm your hearts and it becomes totally sealed and black. So, very glim picture of our reality and life. What to do? We want salvation. How to save ourselves? Well, first of all, this is water, huh? First of all, if I have a glass or a cup or a mug, in order to fill it with what I want, I have to first what? Empty it. So I cannot have water and add some juice to it. It wouldn't be good. I have to empty the cup. Your heart, first of all, has to be cleansed and emptied. From what? From everything that corrupts it. Like what? Like ignorance, like hatred, like envy, like grudges, like evil thoughts. All of these, like arrogance, like showing off, like anger, like being secure from Allah's punishment. Are we secure from Allah's punishment? Yes, we are. Come on, what do you know? All the sins we do in the day and the night only illustrates that, okay, what? Can you punish me? I'm waiting. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. This is the sad reality. When you sit in your room and you watch on the stupid retard phone, they call it smartphone. I call it stupid and retard because it makes the user like this. When you sit and watch something that is haram, aren't you challenging Allah Azza wa Jal? Aren't you secure? No, Allah will not send a thunder or lightning on me and kill me. I've been doing this for the past 10 years, 20 years, nothing happened. Then we feel that Allah Azza wa Jal is not going to punish me for it. And this is when the right moment comes and Allah takes your soul. Just when you are ready and you're secure, this is when Allah Azza wa Jal punishes you. So you have to empty your cup from all of these that corrupt it. Then you fill it up. With what? With Tawheed. With the love of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. The love of the Quran. which most of us don't touch and hold except in Ramadan. You're a Muslim. You don't even read one juz a day, which is the minimum for every Muslim. Yet you find it easy to watch a movie for 2 hours, or to go to watch a football match that takes 6 or 7 hours every time. And when you tell you, sit down, read one juz for 20 minutes, I'm getting sleepy. Subhanallah. Fill up your heart with humbleness. Fill up your heart with sincerity. Fill up your heart with the love to all other Muslims. Fill up your heart with fearing Allah Azza wa Jal and hoping in what Allah has stored for us in Jannatul Na'im. Fill it up with knowing Allah. If I give you an A4 paper now, and I ask you to write the beautiful names and attributes of Allah that you memorize, how many will you write? 10? 15? 20? What about the rest? The vast majority of Muslims don't know. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ. Huh? What is a samad? One of Allah's names? MashaAllah, very smart. You are in university. Very good. Good observation. What does it mean? I don't know. You're worshipping Allah and you don't know Him. You know nothing about Him. And you don't even have the motive to go and learn about Allah. And then you say, I'm a Muslim, I'm a proud Muslim. Show me. Walk the talk instead of just empty words. An identification card that says Muslim. Now, this purification of the heart requires a lot of work. It is not something that comes easy. And this is why Allah created us, to be tested in this life. Imagine someone wanting to be a sportsman, an athlete, without going to the gym. Is this possible? It's not possible. You have to go and work. You have to strive. You have to sweat. And likewise, in order to fix your heart, you have to fight your desires, and you have to fight yourself so that you can win and regain and reclaim the heart that shaitan, since the day you were born, is hunting you down. All what shaitan wants is what? That you be his companion in hellfire. That's it. And the easiest way is to corrupt your heart. Once your heart is corrupted, then you are one of his soldiers. But no one goes to the gym to fix his heart. So what is the heart gym? So let's go and start working out. Well, to fix your heart, you have to first acknowledge the illness. So you have to acknowledge that my heart has a lot of evil and bad things in it, that it is hurting it and it is harming it. So what to do? First of all, you have to start fixing it. How? There are a number of factors, but I will conclude with them, just listing them so that I will not take a lot of your time, because I think we began late and we would not like to end late. You have to look for a mentor. What's meant by mentor? Someone who is more knowledgeable, more righteous, wiser, and loves goodness for you like he loves it to himself. Of course, he has to be from the same gender, please. Don't go, say, Wallah, I found someone, Sheikh, ooh, she's going to fix my heart for good. No, this is not good. It has to be from the same gender. So this person would give you advice from the heart to the heart. And he will monitor your progress. And he will tell you, you have to do this, you have to do that. And usually this is found in students of knowledge and scholars. So the sisters look for a sister who is knowledgeable, who speaks good Arabic, knows the Quran, and does not have any hidden agenda. What is meant by hidden agenda? I could come and become your mentor, but I would like to, oh, a nice watch, mashallah. I wish I had a watch like that. This is not a good mentor. You look for someone who does this for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. Secondly, to fix your heart, you need a good companion. And the issue of companionship is one of the most important in Islam. The Prophet ﷺ told us that the similitude of a good companion and a bad companion is that the similarity of someone who gives you perfume and musk and someone who blows the bellows. The first one, the good companion, if you don't buy perfume from him, he will give you as a gift. Or at least you just go into the shop, smell good, and come out. The fragrance is already in your clothes without buying anything. The bad companion, even if he does not burn your clothes, because he's blowing the bellows, he's working with coal and fire and iron. The least is when you leave his shop, you will be stinking in smell. This is your companion. Tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. If you are befriending someone that doesn't pray, soon you will not pray. If your friends always listen to rap, you will also listen to rap. If your friends twerk, you will twerk. This is human nature. If you bring, is this something? I don't know. Okay, I just found it in the internet. I was okay, let's go back to the subject. Listen to me. I have to say this because you were sleeping, so I have to wake you up. After Mufti's lectures, everybody falls asleep, I know. Envy of the heart, huh? Okay, so I have to work on that. So, if your friend is someone who's righteous, wallahi, without knowing it, when someone does a favor to you, say, Jazakallahu khairan. Why are you saying this? Wallahi, I don't know. All the guys around me say Jazakallahu khairan. I don't know what it means, but it sounds good. That's why even when they play football, Jazakallahu khairan, pass the ball. And when they shoot the ball, Alhamdulillah. Beautiful companionship. This, what impacts you most, your companion. And this is why a good companion always tells you, there's a lecture in Nile University, let's go. A bad companion says, listen, I have a DVD. Don't show it to your brothers or sisters or to your family. Watch it and you love it. So you choose your companion to fix your heart. Number 3, it is quite helpful to listen to negativity from people. When someone comes to you and say that you are this and you are that, and he points your finger and he pokes your eye with it, that's positive. Listen to him. And then revise what he has said. Am I stingy? Am I a person of rage and anger? Am I abusive and use profanity and bad words? Maybe you are. So this is a good way for you to collect and to correct and rectify yourself. And among the best ways to fix your heart is a lot of dua. Remember, we began with the most dua that the Prophet used to repeat alayhi salatu wasalam was Ya muqallib al-qulub thabbit qalbi ala dinik. The vast, most dua that he used to repeat all his day and night. So make dua. Oh Allah, fix my heart in sujood. Oh Allah, cleanse my heart. Oh Allah, let my heart be the best of all hearts. Because people will acknowledge you. Among you, those who are around you, you say, oh yeah, sister so-and-so, she is awful, she is bad, she bites, she's rude, nobody loves her. While sister so-and-so, subhanallah, she's so adorable, she's so kind, she's so generous. Every time I want something, she does it without me asking. And people love the second type. Why? Because Allah Azza wa Jal fixed her heart and made her love in the hearts of everyone else and made your love in the hearts of everyone else. So this is a gift from Allah. Among the things that fixes your heart is knowing the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. Who's the greatest man ever to walk the earth? Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Yet, when you come to the youth and ask them about the 10 heaven-bound, 10 companions that the Prophet said they are in Jannah. Who are they? Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi. You can name all these kuffar just like this. But when it comes to the companion, I don't know. And this is something that I always bring up in every single lecture I say. It's very old, like me, but people tend to forget. If you were fortunate enough to enter Jannah, and they gave you a tour in Jannah, you will enter it and say, MashaAllah, who's this gentleman? Salama ibn al-Akwa. Who? Salama ibn al-Akwa. Don't know him. Who's this? This is Talha ibn Ubaydillah. What a funny name, Talha. And who's that? Sa'd ibn Mu'ad and Sa'd ibn Ubadah. I don't know these guys. They're very honorable. I love them, but I don't know them. I don't know anyone in Jannah actually. But can we take a tour to hell? Sure. And the moment you enter hell, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. These are the people I know. These are my homies. So, at the end of the day, where do you want to be? In Jannah? Then you have to do your work. You have to do your due diligence and learn who will enter Jannah so that you will be with them. Learn the seerah of your Prophet ﷺ. It's shameful when we say, when did Ghazwat Tabuk take place? Say, when did Ghazwat Tabuk take place? Which year? One will say, Sheikh, yes please. Long time ago. Very good answer. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Excellent in history. It's a shame when we talk about the seerah and nobody knows about it, but when we talk about Frozen 2 and the LGBT and people know about what's happening there, then we have a problem in our hearts because it's filled with something that is not correct. And finally, observing your mandatory ibadah. Observing salat on time purifies your heart. Observing voluntary sunnah prayer, 12 rak'ah per day, purifies your heart. Giving charity purifies your heart. Sponsoring an orphan purifies your heart. Being kind to your mother and father. Imagine, in the morning you go and kiss your father and mother. Ask them for dua and make them laugh, make them happy. Wallahi, this purifies your heart. And for those who are married, satisfying and making your spouse happy and making your spouse feel good that he's married to you, this would purify your heart with the grace of Allah. And Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. I pray to Allah that He grants us a pure heart that Subhanahu wa Ta'ala would be pleased with us for having. I pray to Allah Azza wa Jal that He rectifies our shortcomings and that He fixes our shortcomings and that He makes us huge in the eyesight of people and small in our own hearts and eyesight so that we would not be arrogant. هذا والله أعلم ونسبة العلم إليه أسلم وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد.